So, on a bit of a roll, recording loads of videos. This one is a help. Got a couple, two help requests I'm going to issue for the Discovery. Probably just should mention the aim with me with the Discovery is I was well aware of them before I bought it, that they do have lots of common recurring faults. I don't think it's uncommon for a car of such size and such complexity to fail or break down and do stuff. But I think the Discovery gets a bit of a bad rap. Quite a bit gets written about how unreliable they are. But EGR valves, as an example, they do go on most diesel vehicles at some point. So I think it's a bit harsh that's the label they've got. But we'll see. I've only had it for 3 and a bit months, so that might come back to bite me. But still, what I'm looking for help with today, if anyone knows or if anyone can point me into a way of diagnosing, the reason I'm asking for help rather than just getting on and doing stuff is because there are so many faults and because so many things go wrong with these. What I don't want to do is keep on just throwing money and money and money after something. I want to get a really clear diagnosis as to what's wrong before I then spend money fixing it, if that makes sense. If I suspect EGR valves, and that is for a mechanic, probably like a day's worth of work. For me, I'm going to probably want to spend 2 days, maybe more, doing it. If that's how long I'm going to spend doing it, and then spend around 300, 400 quid on some new valves, the last thing I want to do is for that not to cure the problems. Similarly with the juddering that I've got, same again. So let me describe it. So when I take off in this car, this one is around what I suspect is EGRs, but I wouldn't be too clear. Well, let me get my. I'll get into the house as well, and grab me garage key. I'll get me, what's it called, fault code reader. I'm gonna have a look at that too. Inside here we go. So I'll get my fault code reader. So to describe it when it's driving, what happens is that when I'm driving it, the car sort of it's often fine. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's like an electric jobby. Don't worry, I haven't got loads of money. I'll rent this place. I want to buy something sometime, but not yet. So this is not necessarily what we're going to be doing over the longer term with this property, but that's not the video, is it? The video is about a car. So when I'm driving it, it will sort of hesitate a little bit, and then it will sort of surge like that. And that's really about the only thing that happens that when it drives, it's not necessarily completely right. I'll get in here and have a look at my faults as well, see if we can spot them. You'll also notice in there, let me just try and pop the, actually I want to, an R1 tucked away, alarmed, immobilised, locked, deadlocked. There's loads of junk in the way, there's cars in the way, there's a garage door in the way. So if anyone is looking at that thinking, oh, I'm going to have that, well, you'd better make a really good fist of it. But if you want to see content on a motorbike, I'm not the most typical. I'm not your average R1 rider. Is there an average R1 rider? I don't know. But when I was younger growing up, R1 riders tended to be the ones who were absolutely loons and almost didn't even care for their own lives. I don't know if that's still the true profile of an R1 rider. If so, then that isn't me. But I have had that bike for next April. It'll be 4 years I've owned it. So 2005. It's a lovely, lovely bike. Anyway, I'm just padding while I'm getting my fault code reader out. I've got this iCar off one, and it's the LR3, I think. Look at the box again. Yeah, LRV3. So it's the specific Land Rover jobby, which I think is also compatible with the Jaguar side of things. So it's a pretty good reader. But I'm not 100% sure. What I've used it before, I bought a Mercedes specific one when I had a Mercedes for a little while because it was sat on the driveway, and the Mercedes E320 it was, 2005. I had that, plugged it in and cleared the faults, and that was really good because it did the job. It cleared the faults, and then they went away and never came back. But beyond that, I'm a bit stuck. So in terms of diagnosing, if I get an error code, knowing what that error code actually means, not too sure. So let's plug it in. Well, let's not plug it in. What a shit video this is. maybe, is it a shit video? I don't know. All you see is the top of my head. So if I just pull myself down here, I mean, I'm a bit of history with me. I watch YouTube videos, and there's a few guys that I like to watch. Auto Alex is probably my favourite. But there are other people that do stuff on cars that I really enjoy watching, and sometimes it's just the chat that you enjoy. And if that is the case, then maybe this isn't a shit video. Who knows? Right, I'm not having much fun here, am I? Underneath here, I've done this before, blindfolded. Not blindfolded, that'd be really strange. Why would you come out to your own car and blindfold yourself? But there's a little plug. Am I even plugging it into the right place? I can't see it. I need my torch, and my torch is on my phone. Right, one sec. Right, there we go. How to make a very simple task, such as plugging a plug onto the socket. How to make that much more difficult than it needed to be. Anyway, I've got it in now. Got it in. Here's the iCar soft recorder. Diagnostics. Land Rover. Vehicle select. So we're going for Discovery. I think we put the ignition on, don't we, as well? Oh yeah, that's another thing. Discovery 3, couldn't be any clearer. Normally aspirated, nope. Natural, normally aspirated, nope. Diesel. Set ignition switch to on, that's done. I've got onto the second click, reading the VIN code from the vehicle. That is one tiny modification I've done to the vehicle. I fitted a little tiny Bluetooth thing into the cigarette lighter there, and then the little cable runs through to the aux, and that's great because it means that I can have the, on my cradle, I've got my little cradle there with my daughter's little stickers from school. Put the cradle there, have a phone in it, and I can use like maps and play all the audio back through it. It's pretty good. It wasn't bad, like a 10 I think. Right, we're on here. All okay. Got the right vehicle. I think I made a mistake already. It's telling me it was made in Solihull, and it's a 4-door. And I don't need any of that information, do I? There we go. Right, so that was actually a thing. F1, so next, quick test or auto scan. So I think quick test should do the job. Please confirm and select the vehicle configuration properties. I guess so. Yes. Right. As you expect. It's a Land Rover Discovery. Fault. I've got one, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 faults on the engine control module. Ride level control module's got a fault. All-terrain control module's got a fault. Vehicle dynamics control's got a fault. Amplifier's got a fault. Auxiliary heater's got a fault. Body control module's got a fault. Heating ventilation's got a fault. Telephone, cellular phone's got a fault. That's it. So if I hit F2, it says quick erase, erasing fault codes. So I think that's probably the thing, that sometimes you do get erroneous fault codes. Things will just pop up and do stuff. So now I'm showing one fault code on the all-terrain module, one on the auxiliary heater, and one on the body control, but nothing on the ECU or ECM, so engine control module. That was the one I thought was the big problem. Right. Start it.
Power on.
How about that?
Connected.
Special programs off. Traction control lights on. So I'm thinking it's like I've got an EGR issue here, and now instead I've got the traction control decided to turn itself off. HDC fault system not available. That's good. So I'm just going to lock the car. I don't know if this makes a difference or not. Lock it, unlock it, and I'm going to try again. See if anything comes back this time.
Power on.
Power on. So that traction control light's now gone off.
Power on.
Engine management light's gone off. Right. This was my sort of my thought on this anyway, so I'm not going to plug it back in and diagnose it again. But I would appreciate any feedback now. When I get an update on this, if something else happens, if the engine light comes back on again, so it's cleared now, I've got no engine management lights. I've got a seatbelt light and a parking light. I don't know if you can see those. Whoop. There. You can also see 147,695 miles. An average fuel of 25.7, about £1.80 a litre. So I suspect the EGRs are going, but they're not necessarily catastrophic just yet. I would like to know if anyone's got any other evidence or experience to know that it's EGRs or not, or if it's something else completely. What sort of fault codes am I looking for? If it's definitely EGRs, if it's one, how do you diagnose them, that sort of stuff. So again, any help that anyone's got out there, would really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.